The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 366 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez and my co-host as always is...
the Bolshevik of Budapest, the Hercules of Hungary. I'm Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's up? How you doing?
Gomez, I'm back.
Yeah, all right. Vacation. How was it, bro?
Vacation was all I ever wanted. Vacation, I was just happy to get away. Vacation usually spent alone, but not this time.
Oh, what?
I was amongst other people.
Other people? I mean, I guess that sounds fun. I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, sometimes work can be fun, but sometimes fun can be work.
Oh man, I'm glad to see you back, Joe. We missed you. It's been a long week. I feel like we haven't done this show in forever, bro.
We haven't. I was like, I came in today saying, "Oh, I gotta record this fucking podcast now." I forgot what that's like.
I was like, "Oh wait, I do this on this day. Wait a minute, I gotta make sure I do this stuff." Oh man.
But yes, now future Joe now can look back at past Joe from last week and say he had a very good time on his vacation. He's happy he went and did all of the things. He was back in time to do Boozing with the Toys last week for the major pod.
Ooh.
Just a lot of good things happening. A lot of good things. I got so many gifts and so many well wishes and so many oral sexes. Everything was top notch.
Oh, what a great week he's been having, huh, folks?
I had steak multiple nights.
Whoa!
On top of the oral sexes.
Oh, baby.
Because that's what they call me, the overlord of oral sex.
Oh, do they, sir?
Yes.
That can mean many things.
And it means all of them.
Ooh, ladies. I love it. Love when we start the show horny. I love it.
Horny is good for ratings.
The kids love the horniness.
Apparently, whenever we put horny in the episode title, we see our episodes go up by about 30%. So from now on, every episode, there's going to be a real emphasis on the horny.
Hey, bro, there's always something horny to talk about. Don't worry. It's a lot of horny people out there.
There definitely is. But yes, thank you to our new listener base in Hungary who will be listening to this show from now on. All the new friends I've made. It was very nice meeting you.
It's great to meet you.
This is my friend Gomez. He's also
horny. Who is it? I mean, come on. If you ain't horny, you ain't living, folks. Come on.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell on YouTube so you get a notification when all these new episodes drop. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. And if you could be so kind, please leave a 5-star review, whether that's Apple or Spotify, or leave some comments down on the YouTube video right below, because that all is important to the almighty algorithm. And we want to make the algorithm happy. But for now, Gomez, hit the breaking news music.
Oh, shit. Breaking news. Oh, baby, breaking news. It's been so long. What's been popping off, Joe?
Gomez, last week in that episode, you said that your local McDonald's had finally added the cookies and cream pie to the menu, and you were going to try it live. And I noticed that you didn't go live in the past week, JoeMeZ. So what the fuck happened, and why are you holding back from our audience?
Bro, because I had breaking news because, bro, this was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I was ready to go. I told you, I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to go to McDonald's. I set everything up. I'm in the car. I got the camera ready. I'm like, all right, here we go. First things first, I need to order my McDonald's. Order through the app. I got to get my points, my deals, right? I go on the app. Here we go. Wait a minute. Where's this Oreo pie? Why is this all blacked out? All grayed out. You can't click nothing. And then I noticed there is no Oreo pie. There's now a pumpkin pie because, oh, baby, it's pumpkin season if you haven't heard.
Yeah,
Fucking
so pumpkin and
season.
cream pie is on the menu,
Oh,
has replaced the cookies and cream pie. JoeMeZ wasn't able to get it. I was never able to get it. This is months we've been looking for this. And if you lived in New Jersey, you got it. If you lived in other areas, you got it. Other people have been hitting us up going, I had it. What do you think about it? I've never been able to get it. And trust me, folks, I go to McDonald's and it was not there.
It wasn't. We go all the time. That's Shiloh's thing. She loves some McDonald's. So we love McDonald's. We go there. Fucking bullshit. I ain't trying the pumpkin. I don't give a shit about pumpkin like that.
I'm not a pumpkin guy myself, but I'm hearing good things about those Wendy's pumpkin drinks.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I would try the Frosty because they're small. And I got that keychain. That free, that keychain where you get that free Frosty every time you go. Woo! That thing's the best. Come on, folks.
JoeMeZ, Taco Bell. We love Taco Bell when they don't piss us off.
What they do?
Taco Bell is testing a new cheesy chicken crispanada.
Interesting.
It looks like a stuffed empanada with cheese and chicken.
Okay, it's interesting. I'm
supposed to be like pastry dough for
the
casing. It's a chicken and a 3-cheese blend. It's only going to be available in the Knoxville and Atlanta areas during the test.
What the fuck, bro?
Knoxville. What do they have that we don't?
And I didn't know there was the hotbed of Taco Bell and
Knoxville and Atlanta. Yeah.
What are we doing, folks? This is just why they hate us, bro. They're so rude. This is bullshit.
Now at Walmart, just for now at Walmart, I should say, but coming to grocery stores everywhere in December, Pop-Tarts with 2 new flavors on the shelf. I should say 1 new flavor and 1 return. The new flavor is chocolatey chip pancake.
All right, I can fuck with it, but I'm
and that is frosted top to bottom and has well, I mean, usually you just get that frosting kind of in the middle and you get that crust along the edge. This looks to be frosted completely.
I bet you they're just fucking with you. They're gonna pretend it's like, and then you get it, and it's never like that. But
and it's got like a maple taste to it. It's supposed to give you that pancake flavor when you bite into it. I'm not a big pancake guy, but I would try it.
Like I love maple syrup and shit, but I don't want maple with my chocolate chip pancakes. That's a different flavor profile. You know
what kind of syrup do you normally put with your chocolate chip pancakes?
I just like a little, like a regular, like a sugary syrup, not like something that's heavy. You could do that, or some whipped cream. That's always good.
I like some whipped cream.
It's a little butter.
I like
sometimes.
Whipped cream and chocolate syrup, and more whipped cream. And the other flavor. Pancakes? What are we talking about now?
I said we're still talking about pancakes.
I heard what you said. Making a return to shelves, JoeMeZ. Strawberry milkshake flavor.
I love that one. Oh, yeah, baby. I love it. I put it in the freezer, right? Because sometimes they tell you, put it in
I've heard this from other people. So people on the message boards that I frequent have mentioned putting the strawberry milkshake Pop-Tart in the freezer. So you do this.
Yes, they tell you to. It's like, oh, try this one chilled. It doesn't say it on all of them, but there's a few of them that do that. And I said, why would Pop-Tarts lie to me? They've never steered me wrong once in my life. Never. One of my best friends in my life, Pop-Tarts. So I'm going to listen when they say, hey, put this in the freezer, bro. Oh, it was good. Try it out. If you've never done it, woo, so good.
I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it now just to try this.
How many people even toast their Pop-Tarts, right? People just usually just pop that shit in their mouth.
I just eat them room. I don't have time to toast.
You know what I'm saying? But you toast a s'mores Pop-Tart toasted.
So good. But I'll tell you what.
Good.
When I moved into my place in Tampa, and this is going back probably
100 years now,
8 years now. My mom bought me as like a housewarming gift a toaster oven. We always had a toaster oven in the house growing up.
Yes.
So she bought me a toaster oven thinking that I was going to be over the moon about this toaster oven. I said, what the fuck do you think I'm going to use this for?
Oh, come on.
And she said, for your Pop-Tarts.
I love it. Like, what's your problem, bro? Like, duh. Who raised you?
And I said, how often do you think I'm going to eat Pop-Tarts? And she said, as often as you always did. And I go, I suppose when looking back at the history of my life that I have eaten a considerable amount of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, it's always been a go-to snack in the house. Always get some pizza rolls and some Pop-Tarts. That's like the go-to shit.
Oh
always.
My God, the pizza rolls. There was, I forget what the company's name was, way before Totino's, when microwaves were first becoming a big thing everywhere. And we used to have like micro magic food. Remember? It was like, you go to the frozen food aisle and you buy this special made for the microwave stuff. That's how old I am. Folks.
So old, bro.
But there were these pizza rolls that would come, and they were basically, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 inches long, like a kind of egg roll you would get from a Chinese food restaurant. And they had like this layer of breading inside, like an egg roll. And it had the cheese and the pizza sauce on the inside. It was the world's greatest egg roll, pizza roll. And I have never been able to find it in over fucking 35 years now.
Sounds like a Hot Pocket kind of thing, right? It was kind of like that. It sounds like.
No, it wasn't like I guess to an extent it was, but it was legit like
a little more crispy
crust.
Oh, yeah. So it's nice and crispy. Oh, that's good.
The shape and the texture of it were very much like an egg roll.
That's good. Okay, that's good. I like that.
And then it was just the inside instead of like the veggies, a little pork or whatever. It was pizza stuffings. It was dynamite. I can remember it to this day. When you talk about being horny, that's the kind of shit I get hyped for. Like Lauren Boebert going to see Beetlejuice. That's me with these pizza rolls.
Oh, when I lived in Howard Beach, this Chinese food spot, they had a hot dog, a Chinese hot dog, and it was just a hot dog in an egg roll wrapper. It was the fucking best, bro. And I've never seen it anywhere else.
Exactly.
It was so good. Oh, egg rolls.
You'll never have it again now.
Egg roll wrappers, bro. I love it when you get like an egg roll that has like the Philly cheesesteak. Ooh. I just love egg rolls, spring rolls, whatever you want to call them. Good shit.
No, spring roll is different.
It's like lighter, right? It's a little more flakier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
JoeMeZ, people who are not necessarily known to be our friends.
Oh,
Subway.
Eat fresh, baby. What we got here?
They are testing some new foot-long sidekick desserts.
Oh, desserts. Okay.
3 different desserts. They are all a long dessert. So it's a foot long, but like thin long. The first one is a churro. So for $2, you get a foot long churro. Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
For $3, you can have a foot long pretzel.
Okay. It's very okay. All right.
For $5,
give it to me.
You can have a foot long chocolate chip cookie.
A fucking foot long cookie, bro. This is incredible.
And I'll say, for all the shit I talk about Subway, and it's a considerable amount of shit.
Say it. Let's say it.
Cookies are pretty fucking good.
Their cookies are fucking banging, bro. They got the So who's got better cookies? McDonald's cookies are good, but I'll take Subway
McDonald's
cookies
are
definitely.
pretty good. Subway's
But
cookies are
I'll
good.
take Subway. I would take Subway over that. Ooh, they're
Wendy's
so good.
has good cookies.
I don't get them often enough, so I can't judge it. But I do remember liking it the 1 or 2 times I had.
Yeah,
Okay,
good
I gotta
cookie.
try it
Always
again.
always get one with your value meal. It's like 99 cents if you buy a meal.
It's like the cookies we used to get in high school. In my high school, we used to get like little cookies like that for $1. Fresh
You had
baked
cookies, but you
we
didn't
had.
have books.
Hey, we had books. We just had metal detectors. We had like a fucking ShopRite in our fucking school. Like we had stuff. You know, it was just maybe a little dangerous. I don't know.
JoeMeZ, our favorite show, has become a victim of the strike.
Oh no, what's
Winning
this?
Time will not be renewed for season 3.
Oh, this is bullshit. This is crazy. I thought it was
But this
doing
happened.
good.
It is doing good from everything I know. Critically, it's been doing very well this season. For me, I've enjoyed it to an extent, probably not as much as I enjoyed season 1, but I still think it's good. But they didn't say it was because of the strike, but I would imagine that's what it is. Because the last time we had the strike, we ended up seeing a lot of shows get canceled. I remember Glow being among them, the Allison Brie show, which I enjoyed. It was fine. It was fun to watch. But now Winning Time will not be back for season 3. And a lot of people are disappointed because that's like where the Magic Larry stuff would really start
like
kicking up.
Yeah, like we didn't really do nothing.
The end of this season, they teased the Bad Boy Pistons.
Oh, that's great.
So people were getting hyped for things like that. And now we will not see it come to fruition.
This is sad, bro. This broke up a friendship, this show. And it only lasted 2 seasons. Oh, I hope they get back together. Adam McKay, call your friend Will Ferrell. Come on.
Speaking of, the other day, someone made an Anchorman reference to me, and I opened Netflix, and it's like, you may enjoy Anchorman is on Netflix right now. It was pointing right at me when I opened the app. So I said, I'm going to sit back and watch, because if you say to me, hey, Shoes, what's your favorite movie of all time? I'd probably going to answer Anchorman. I was just the right person at the right time for that movie, and I fucking love it. The same way I spoke about basketball last week and how much I quoted it and how much it meant to me is Anchorman to a multiple.
We quoted this movie, bro. I love it.
Man, I went back and I laughed.
It's still good.
Oh,
it's still good.
Oh, how I laughed, JoeMeZ.
It's still great. I still love it. No notes. Perfect movie. 10 out of 10. So good.
So I was thinking maybe we'll have to go back and do an Anchorman episode one day.
Woo, baby. I'm playing my flute.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Oh, before memes, just dudes quoting Anchorman, bro.
That's what it was. Before memes really caught on, it was just, it's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
He kicked up. The man he took up.
The man punted Baxter. Last bit of news, JoeMeZ.
Oh, what we got here?
Blink 182 has announced their new album will be coming out October 20th.
Ooh,
do you think you will be able to survive one more month without a Blink 182 album?
I hope I can, because then I could die happy. Finally, the long drought is over. Blink is back, baby.
And Tom this whole time was right about the aliens.
It's going to be, I'm depressed because I have cancer, and I was right about aliens. Let's go.
15 tracks, 22 minutes.
I'm excited. I wonder. So they do this. So they probably get one more tour, right? He's probably got one more tour in them. So maybe they'll do like the festivals next year, right? That could be a big headliner. Yeah. Oh, here's Lollapalooza, Riot Fest, whatever. Blink 182. Because I would do that. I wouldn't go see Blink at a regular concert, but if they toured
not for as much as they charge. I don't understand how anyone can afford to go to Has this always been the case with old people band concerts?
Bro, here we go. Transition. Let's go, baby. I went to a concert just last night. The New Metal Kid was back in action. Okay, I went to see Papa Roach. Woo! And Spirit Box. Love Spirit Box. Great.
I've never
Right?
heard of Spirit Box.
It's good. They got a lady singer, and she like sings normal, but then she does this, and it's like really like it's good though. It's like she was incredible live. The way she switches from clean to the growl, amazing.
Sounds
So
it.
right, it was great, right? So it's at the Paramount in Long Island. It's like a nice, it's like a smallish, like a mid-sized place, I guess, right? Probably holds 8,000 people, maybe something like that.
Okay.
You know, like one of these small
That's like
places.
a real place.
Right. So, tickets were $50, and then you gotta pay this fucking service fee, right? So they come out to almost like $80, right? So I had 2 tickets. Me and my wife were gonna go. Well, it turns out she's not feeling good yesterday, right? No big deal, whatever. Let me sell these tickets, right? I've sold tickets before, no big deal. Well, I couldn't do it on StubHub because it was too close to the event. They want a day notice if you're gonna start the thing, So okay. So I don't know if you know this, right? When you go on Ticketmaster now, when you buy tickets, you got to pay attention because they sell regular tickets and then they sell verified resale tickets. So they're their own StubHub now, right? They're like, fuck those people making money. We should make even more money, right? Fuck this, right? So I'm like, all right, let me sell it back to Ticketmaster. Let's see what's happening. Bro, I go there. I'm like, all right. I'm going to sell this for like 50, 60 bucks. Let me just get some money. I don't give a shit. I just want to get a couple bucks back for it, right? So it don't go to waste. I go there. These cocksuckers, bro, it tells me there is a minimum you can sell your ticket for. And it cannot go past this minimum. So the minimum was telling me was $80. Okay. So this $50 ticket that then costs 70 something because of fees. They're saying you can't resell it unless it's $80. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, okay. So I put it up. I'm like, all right, a couple hours before the show. Let's see. It's not selling because it's $80. Just buy a regular flight. I don't even think the show's sold out, so what are you doing? So I'm like, this is bullshit. Ticketmaster sends me an email. They're like, hey, bro, it's getting close to the show. Maybe you want to lower the price of your tickets. I said, I would love to lower the price of my ticket. Yes, sure. I go back on there. No, that's just something they send out because I cannot go lower than this $80 price point. What kind of fucking scam is this, Ticketmaster? I can't wait for the next class action lawsuit. I'm on it, bro. Not allowing me to sell my ticket for my what is this bullshit, bro? Unbelievable. I fucking hate Ticketmaster so much, bro. I hate it so much. It's terrible. Fuck Ticketmaster.
But like this gets me wondering. Back in the days where like our parents would be like, oh, I'm going to see, I don't know, the Doobie Brothers at Jones Beach. Like, how much was a Doobie Brothers ticket back then for our parents to go and see the Doobie Brothers?
But like, so I paid $50 for Papa Roach. I've paid $8 to see Papa Roach before.
But like, this is what I mean. Like, for an old, when you're for an older audience now, Papa Roach is obviously promoting to people our age that grew up during that Papa Roach.
20, 30,
and we have disposable income now, so they expect us all to have jobs and be able to pay these tickets. But when Blink 182's minimum ticket cost $182, like
that's ridiculous.
That's absurd. Like, this is a band I paid 92 cents at one point to go see. Yes. And now you want me to pay $182? That's still a lot of money to me.
$50 was the high-end concert. Whenever we went to a show and it was a $50 ticket, we're like, tickets are $50, bro. You sure you want to go? You'd be like, all right. Because it's usually $20-$30, like you poor. You
bro,
got
I remember going to Royal Rumble 2000 and my buddy going, I'll go to the house show when they do the pre-sale for the Rumble tickets. But, I'm kind of thinking I want to do nice tickets, maybe like $100. And we're looking at the seating chart and we're like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to pick up like extra shifts at Burger King in the meantime to be able to afford this $100 Royal Rumble ticket. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what $100 gets you in for WWE these days. Definitely, I would assume that's the cheapest ticket possible, maybe on a pay-per-view. I'm sorry, a PLE.
Definitely. So I can talk about this too. By the time you listen to this, I would have gone to AEW Grand Slam. It's in
Why?
Queens. I go every year, bro. It's fun to go. In the tennis place, it's a fun show.
MJF is all around New York this week promoting it.
Yeah.
It was just at City Field, threw out the first pitch, said Chipper Jones took steroids to beat the Mets.
Love it. Love it.
And then
Love
he called the
it.
Philly Fanatic a disgrace. It was good stuff.
So this show, this is the third year they've done it. The first year sold out almost 21,000 people. The next year, 12,000 people. This year, I think we got about 6,000. It's basically cut in half every year.
No.
Okay. Yeah. I think if they hit 8,000, they're going to be lucky. Because this is what they did. The fucking bastards, another bastards. So I got tickets, right? I'm going with my brother, our good friend, Dr. Armando, right? So we're going to go have a good time. We got tickets. The next day, bro, they go on sale. Oh, it's buy one, get one. Because we got to start selling these fucking tickets. I'm like, this is bullshit, right? And then, so I'm already pissed off about that. And then the next day, okay, because this is the weird thing. So we're in like the 200s, right? Which is like the nosebleed. Like that's the last section. It's 100,
Okay.
200, because it's a small place. So we're in the 200s, right? Those tickets were $30 a ticket, right? The 100 sections was like $150. Like it was such a jump from there to there for like 10 rows. It's like insane. Like it makes no sense. But now those tickets started going on sale for $30 because they're just trying to get people in those seats, bro.
Oh,
gotta fill it up.
But this is what I'm hearing is a issue with AEW now. We talked a few weeks back when they did All In at Wembley, like, oh my God, they're gonna do it again next year. And it's like, well, why wouldn't they? But this is why maybe you wouldn't. Because they basically,
oh my God,
they've basically built into the fan base now, like, we go here every year for this, and we go here every year for this. And what you're seeing is AEW's got a lot of fucking fans dressed up as empty chairs now.
They don't announce things too in advance. Like they're not that type of promotion. It's more the week of, here's 5 matches, now get excited. So, maybe there'll be some ticket sales. I mean, MJF is defending the belt against Samoa Joe. It's a big match, it's a big pay-per-view type match that they're doing free on TV. I honestly think, it's my hot take, I think Samoa Joe's going to win the belt, honestly. I think storyline, it makes sense. I know it'd be weird to do, but it's just they're doing this Adam Cole MJF thing. MJF got a hurt neck. Samoa Joe's move is the neck move. Oh, I choke you. I hurt your neck. I think they do something, right? Because look, here's my
you can ask TJ Wilson. So Samoa Joe really does hurt necks.
There's a pay-per-view. If you didn't know this, Joe, AEW's got a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So they're doing this big TV match. So I mean, obviously they could do a fuck finish, set up the rematch. But I'm thinking Samoa Joe hurts MJF, wins the belt, and then his best friend Adam Cole has to come and defend his honor. To do the thing. Obviously this is long gone, so I sound like a fool by the time this comes out. But I'm just, I'm like, this makes no sense. What are we doing? Wrestling talk. I love it.
It's just, it's not even just wrestling talk. It's the business of live events talk. Is now when someone like you buys a $30 ticket, and now you could have gotten 10, 15 rows closer for the same $30 had you just waited a couple extra days.
Yeah. Now I know to wait next time, right?
Why would you ever buy a ticket in the first place?
Yeah, it's the truth. And that's what I do a lot of times. A lot of times I don't like buying a seat early because shit happens, right? Like, look, my wife got sick yesterday, and so I lost out. Usually we go last minute. How you feeling? You want to go? Let's go, unless you really have to because it's going to sell out. But even then, you could StubHub the shit. Not everything is fucking Taylor Swift where it's thousands and thousands of dollars, So I try not to buy shit in advance. And look at this. I got dicked over 2 times with the same show because if I waited one day, would have been cheaper. Waited another day, I could have got better seats for cheaper. So, yeah, it's like, fuck you, AEW. We were nervous too. Like, oh, we should hurry up and get tickets just in case. Bro, there's so many seats. Like, we could have just went there tomorrow and like probably even got even better seats.
Well, even about a month ago, my brother said he went to Dynamite or whatever up in Albany and he got front row tickets with no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is not good for AEW.
The thing is, the ratings are good. The pay-per-view buys are good. Everything else is good, right? So they're making their money. So the attendance hasn't become such a big issue, I suppose,
Because for the live event, AEW feels like a travel event organization to me, where if they did like their big shows, if they do like a fan fest for All Out or whatever, then it's a big deal, right? They just did they had the involvement with Conrad Thompson's Starcast.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
go, they travel, they
always
make
do,
a
yeah.
weekend out of it.
Yeah.
That's what the AEW fan base seems like to me, from afar.
And it is for the most part, because technically they do 4 pay-per-views a year, but now they started adding all these special shows, and now it's, we got 3 pay-per-views in 6 weeks. That's a bit much. It's a bit much, bro. And then also this is, the Grand Slam. It's not a pay-per-view, but it's supposed to be a big show. It's a 20,000 seat arena that they're trying to fill, so it's a lot of shows and the cramped up.
And that can't be cheap to run that building either, because no one has ever done it.
No one ever
the
runs
US Open.
Yeah.
And
100%.
when AEW started running there, you said 3 years now? This is the third year?
Yes, the third year. Yeah.
When they announced that they were going to run there the first time, that was like,
what?
Oh,
yeah, it's so weird.
I lived 15, 20 minutes away from there for God knows how many years, and not once have I ever heard of another event being held there.
No,
I never even thought it was possible.
That's what I said. I was like, what? At the tennis place? They could do that? What?
So that's it. Tickets are expensive. Go to everything, but only if you can afford it.
Enjoy things if you can.
I'm going to bring up one thing now. I suppose we would have saved this for our main event, but I just don't feel like there's enough meat on the bone for that. So last week we said we're going to play some movie catch up, and the wheel landed on the remake of White Men Can't Jump, which is now on Hulu and has been since its debut.
Yes.
It stars Cinqua Walls as Kamal and Jack Harlow as Jeremy, and they're doing the same things that Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson did like 30 years ago. Yes. And that's just be an unlikely duo who's good at basketball, so now they're going to try to hustle people for extra money. And we heard that this movie was absolute dreck. So going in, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I got to watch this. How long is this movie? Oh, please don't tell me it's 2.5 hours. And it's like an hour 41. I go, okay, I guess it could be worse. But here we are. And I'm watching this movie, and it's not good. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's definitely not the worst thing I've seen.
Definitely not the worst thing this year.
Yeah, but it's very much a movie that simply exists. It's 100%. Just there. There's not a lot to it. It doesn't have the charm of the original when it comes to the racial relation stuff, because they keep trying to push racial overtones and jokes like in a comedic way. It's not meant to offend or anything like that, but they don't land like they did in the original. It feels like you're almost waiting for someone to be standing behind there with the drum going. Yeah.
100%. Yep. This is the definition of a streaming content movie, right? Hey, we need some content on this streaming service. What are we going to put on there? This fucking movie. It's just okay. It's fine. It's aggressively fine. Like we said, it's not terrible. You'll laugh sometimes. You'll cringe sometimes, I'm sure. But this movie, there's nothing to it, bro. It's whatever.
Yeah, for an hour and a half to sit there and have something on, as you're doing something and look over here and there. There are a couple times where I chuckled. I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. But there was nothing in the movie where I was like, oh no, okay, this is bad, or it's just there. And that's fine. There is a lot of movies a lot worse than being just fine.
Yes. I saw lots of reviews actually said this is the perfect folding clothes movie when you're just folding clothes and you put something on in the background.
Yes, exactly like that.
It's the perfect movie for that. So if that sounds good for you, then pop it on.
I will say, last week I talked about the line from the original, we going sizzler, yes. And this movie gives us a callback where at the end we get one of the sidekicks who's just yelling from the bleachers going, yo, Sizzler's on me. And I was like,
see, that's the kind of callbacks we want in our remakes and stuff, right? We want little things like that. We don't want them doing the Sizzler dance. We want that, like, oh, there you go. You still giving Sizzler some love. I love it.
yes, it deserves all of the love.
I mean, I'm shocked in 2023, Sizzler's getting shout outs. God bless. Thank you, White Man Can't Jump remake.
Yes.
Bringing Sizzler back into the consciousness of
I
America.
feel like the only people here pontificating for the survival of Sizzler at this point is White Men Can't Jump and me.
That's it.
There
That's
is
it,
no
bro.
one on social media doing as much work for the Sizzler, for free even, as me. The Sizzler account themselves don't do it.
Hell no. Sleepwalking, bro. Sleepwalking on the job. That damn account. Unbelievable.
They just did some new commercials with Jodie Sweetin from Full House because when she was very young, one of her first acting gigs was being in a Sizzler commercial.
I love it. That's great.
So like they do it. She's like, hi, I'm actress Jodie Sweetin, and you may not know this, but I've been a Sizzler fan for decades, whatever. And they show like a clip of her original commercial. It's adorable. But that's how you do content. And then you hire me because I'm the one actually sitting here doing it. Me and Jodie Sweetin for Sizzler 2023 for life.
What's the closest Sizzler? It's in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah,
no,
in the West.
Oh yeah, there's nothing in the Midwest.
No, not even. I think the closest one at this point. I don't know if there's any in Nevada. Maybe New Mexico might be the closest.
Damn. I mean, I guess we're taking a trip to New Mexico one year. Oh well, we'll go to Puerto Rico. We would go. If
yeah, well, Puerto Rico would be the closest. I guess.
But we don't count that. We gotta get on a fucking you cannot get there without a plane. So.
Well, you can't get to New Mexico without a plane.
We could drive. We could take a long road trip.
Would you?
I mean, I'm not saying we would.
You want me? I don't want to be in a car with you that long.
Why? It'd be fun. Come on.
I don't like your music. You make me listen to Papa Roach.
But that's not true. Well, you act like I never control music. What are we doing? I made mixes all the time for our car trips. Get out of here. I always mixed it up.
It'll be the gay fish song from South Park and then the X-Pac music. I got everything I ever wanted and I ain't gonna give that back. Yo. I know you hate X Factor. That one. That's the X-Pac music.
But that's exactly what the car rides would be.
And then I'd be singing along like a jerk.
We sing every word to every song. I love it. God bless. Good times.
The main man music.
Oh, sure, we could main man.
Yeah, why not?
I guess. Why not? Let's go.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
All right, Joe. Main man standing times. White Man Can't Jump. 2023 remake. What's up with this? What do you think?
Dictionary definition of a movie that is just there and simply exists and is perfectly fine. I gave it a 2. I could be convinced to go to a 2.5 just to be like in the middle. But like the thing is like I feel like that's a little charitable. At the same time, 2 makes it seem a little bit worse, and it's not bad. It's just there. So let's say 2.25 main men, right in the middle. We're gonna split the difference. 2.25.
But that is a good thing because I agree. It's like a 2, but then when you say 2, you're like, oh, that's but it's like it's not. It's okay. It's fine. Like I would never tell folks, please go watch this movie, but it's like. If you watched it, I'd be like, oh yeah, right. It wasn't so bad. Right?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's just. I'll do the 2.5. We'll be the generous one. We'll bring the average up a little. Because people hating on it too much. I was expecting the fucking. Maybe that's why. I was expecting the fucking.
I was expecting real absolute dog shit, and that's not what this movie is.
because people don't watch dog shit. People think they watch dog shit. People watch a
But
subpar
they've
thing
never
and go,
seen
"This fucking
Skinnamarink.
sucks," and they ain't seen fucking direct to DVD bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, it ain't that bad. It could always be worse. Boy, you what else you got this week? What you watch anything else here?
I did. I spent 7 hours of my
Whoa.
life
What
watching the new Netflix series, The Secret Life of Al Snow, or as Netflix calls it, Wrestlers.
Yes, you did watch this. So how was this? I was very curious to see this.
So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a dive down this one. So let's go with the IMDb description of this. You ready?
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
OVW in Louisville, Kentucky used to be a glorious grad school for young wrestlers with hopes of a shot at a career in pro wrestling. Yet things aren't like they used to be. And you're right, they damn sure are not. But the thing is, too, this revisionist history over what OVW used to be is absurd, because throughout this series, people are talking about this like, oh man, you don't remember, like OVW used to be the place. Yeah, no shit. OVW used to be the place to be when WWE used it as its developmental and was sending all their guys there. And you had John Cena, and you had Batista, and you had Randy Orton, and you had H2O Ron Waterman, and you had Rico Constantino and the Big Show there. And whenever anybody got hurt, they would do like a rehab stint in OVW for a while. So you'd have like Stone Cold come there and do a little bit, or whoever was coming back from being injured. And they don't talk about what OVW was before that, which is nothing. They don't talk about, how OVW doesn't have that WWE support anymore, so no one cares as much, which is what is the case. Instead, they're like, oh, we got to get OVW back to its glory days. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? There is so much delusion in this show. You've got a couple. It focuses on a small group of the wrestlers who were there in OVW. And the main star of the show is this girl, Hollywood Haley J. And she is this white trash girl who just expects to be a star because she showed up to training one day. And she's doing like her thing, and it's whatever. And her mom is like an old wrestler who does like deathmatch stuff, and is like an older woman who thinks she's still got one more run left in her.
Oh, I love it.
Then we get Hollywood Haley J's boyfriend, Eric Darkstorm, who is like this guy who's been around wrestling for like 20 something years, had a couple tryouts with TNA back in like the TNA days. And he's like 36 now, and he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for that call, whenever and it's like, bro, it ain't coming. I hate to be the one to tell you, but it ain't coming.
So sad. It's always so sad, bro. It's like, come on. Like, you
then there's this other guy named Cashflow, who is probably about my age, if not a little older. Once again, been around the indies for God knows how long. He looks like he was an IWA Mid-South guy for a while at one point. And he's a bigger dude. He's an older dude. He's got a family. And apparently this is all he does is wrestle for OVW. And once again, like he gets a shot. He gets like a dark match on AEW. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just waiting to see if they liked it. Maybe they give me a call and then I could go work for AEW. And it's like, bro, what? Are you serious? The level of delusion in this show is especially for someone like me who has spent over 20 years in and around the business at this point. But there comes a point, and I understand you love this. You don't want to give it up. But there comes a point where you say, do I want to be poor for the rest of my life and working shit indies, or would I actually like to be able to afford rent and food? And that's one of those things where I probably hindered me on my wrestling level, because when I was quote unquote in my prime, the indies were fucking dead. When you're talking about like 2005, 2006 to post Invasion, which killed the business for a while, and crowds were almost non-existent and bookings were almost non-existent, and there was no place for guys to go and get signed to leave the indies so other people can move up into spots. It's the same guys on the same shows in the same buildings for years and years, and it was so difficult because there was no place to fucking go. Some point you got to look at that and go, this probably isn't going to happen for me. Outside of just Vince McMahon sitting in there going, I have an idea for a chubby guy with a New York accent. Get me Joe Shoes. Outside of that happening, like, I'm probably not going to get a job in this business. I need to go get a real job and make a real income and have things like health insurance and have things like a 401k plan, because I cannot depend on Al Snow to pay me $50 a show to want to put food in my children's bellies. That's not good enough for me. And a lot of people who are being featured in this show have nothing. There's no fallback plan.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
this is what they've got. And
Damn.
for a show, it makes for a good show.
Sure.
If you compare it to the Monster Factory show that was on Apple, that one almost seemed cheap. You know,
really?
I'm guessing it was done by some independent company that was
Sure, and they probably just
producing
bought
it or whatever. This is done by, I forget what other show they did, but it was another Netflix show. So this show, aesthetically, very polished, very well edited, real music being used at certain cutscenes, very good story weaved together throughout the 7 episodes. This show is very well worth the watch. It's an entertaining show. But to take it on the surface as a docuseries and not a somewhat scripted drama, if you take these people at face value, someone like me who knows a lot of people like this in real life, is sitting there going, I can't fucking believe it is 2023 and cash flow is still waiting for the fucking phone call.
Do you think this has appeal to non-wrestling fans? Would someone like get invested in a character? Because
I mean, that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah.
It's how do we show something that's so wrestling and have it appeal to people who are not fans of the art form, right? Yeah. And it's one of those things where I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have a good answer for that, because I feel like when people who aren't fans of wrestling see something about wrestling, it's always like the worst possible thing they could see about wrestling. So it's like when one of the things I get years ago, I did like the Joey Ryan penis suplex spot. Yeah. To this day, I still get people sending me videos of Joey Ryan doing the penis suplex. They just saw it for the first time.
Yeah.
And they send it to me thinking like, I've never seen this before, let alone done it. And they send it to me because they think now in their minds, this is what wrestling is. Sure. They go, oh, this is what you do? Yep. Or whenever Super Hummin is jumping off his deck and going, you know, whoop, 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 juggalo, fuck this shit. And then he jumps through like a laser printer. They go, oh, like this is what you do? Like the impression that it leaves with these people who are not wrestling fans, this is what they think wrestling is. Always, especially at independent levels. Whenever you see those like botched clips that somehow go viral because they're so dangerous and someone fucked up so bad, I get them sent to me by people who don't watch wrestling at all. Like number one, like I fucking seen this. Number two,
we've seen it, bro.
Number two, no, this is not what I do. So it's one of these things, and I don't think the show portrays wrestling in a negative light. I think it's kind of honest to an extent about what wrestling is. but it's just one of those things where I don't know that will translate to the normal. As a reality show, maybe someone could get hooked into the drama, but then when you see some of these characters like Cashflow or Eric Darkstorm or these people who were like, oh, I'm just waiting for that call, and you look at them and it, more than anything, I feel bad for them. I genuinely do, because there has to come a point in your life where you move on. You find something different to do. You find a new purpose. That doesn't mean you have to stop loving wrestling. That doesn't mean you still can't be involved on some level. But you have to you can't sit there and say at 42 years old, I'm still doing these OVW shows and hoping to put food on my table. Like, that doesn't cut it anymore. And we get the two guys who own the company now in pairing with Al Snow, who are like the heels of it all because they're business guys and they don't know about wrestling. And that's kind of the perspective they give off, right? Like, oh, we know business, so we know better than you. And it's like, no, this is wrestling.
Yeah,
it's not the same. Business. But then again, you have Al Snow being a fucking pompous prick going, these guys shouldn't be telling me what to do. I've dedicated my life to this business. And it's like, anyone who spent any time around Al Snow has gotten tired of Al Snow.
Oh, poor Al Snow. Come on.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm friends with Al Snow or I know him well, but I've been around Al Snow, and a lot of what he says does make sense and can be put to good use. But then the other half is like, ugh, come on. And in so much of this where he's like, the girl Haley J takes a booking with Women of Wrestling and she's doing a gimmick over there and going to be on TV for them and all this stuff. And that's a pretty big booking.
Sure.
And he's like, why isn't OVW like your priority? Like, they expect people. It's almost like that territory mindset where it's like, if you're in OVW, you shouldn't be working anywhere else. And it's like, bro, like, you're fucking OVW. No, like, stop.
You're working everywhere. Every booking you can get. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Let's get out of here.
And then they decide to run like a summer tour. They tell everyone, keep every date open. We're going to need, and then when people don't get booked on some of the dates, they're like, well, I still get paid, right? You told me to keep it open. Like, well, you're not on the show, are you? It's like, but you told me to keep it open, didn't you?
Jesus Christ.
So I say this show is recommended. Aesthetically, I think it's beautifully done. It's really well put together. Camera work is flawless. Editing is terrific. The way they've crafted the story is great. From the TV production point of view, very, very well done. From the people involved who are actually on the show, some of them are just like cringeworthy. But that's what makes compelling television.
Yeah,
compelling
people
reality
like that
television.
Shit. Yeah.
You have people who bring out emotions in you. And for better or worse, all these characters that we're introduced to in this show have brought out different emotions in me. So I did watch it all the way through. I think it ends on a good way. I think they do give you a nice complete story for the way they were telling it. So I would say if you haven't already, definitely go check it out. JoeMeZ, I believe you have not checked it out, correct?
No, I have not.
I would say invest some of your time in this. I think it's worth it.
I think I will. You sold me. It sounds interesting. I'm interested.
It is interesting. Just at the end of it, please don't send me videos of the penis suplex.
That's all you're getting, baby. I'm like, yo, you ever seen this before?
Anytime anything in wrestling happens where it like kind of goes viral, the people in my life who have no interest in wrestling come out of the woodwork to send it to me as if I haven't seen it.
They got to make sure, bro. They know you love wrestling. They're trying to relate to you. Isn't that nice?
Oh, my God. Yeah, great.
Oh, my goodness. The only other thing I watched this week, did you have a chance to watch episode 5 of Ahsoka?
I did.
Oh, so I didn't even realize this. This was like in movie theaters. Like they made like a big deal out of this episode. Like they had a special screening in movie theaters.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, really? And then I saw the episode. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it, but interesting to do that in a movie theater for the middle episode of a series.
Right?
Like it's weird.
It feels like they're trying to give us that kind of unforgettable moment. And this episode, I gotta say, like, I was hooked.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, like I'm definitely hooked because the way they left off episode 4. Spoiler alert, we didn't give it to you last week. I'm gonna tell it to you this week. Pause for 15 seconds because I'm a spoiler right now if you haven't watched it yet or whatever. Where they bring back Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen in the character of Anakin Skywalker,
Yes,
and they give us that moment of Jedi Master and Padawan, and then they bring it back for a long period of time in episode 5, which I was worried was just going to be something quick again.
Yeah.
If anything at all. And they gave us something really meaty to work with. And it's all about like Ahsoka kind of finding her way and completing her training. And
love the young Ahsoka. It's great.
Yes. Like I said, that was the Ahsoka. Like
that's
I feel like I've been missing.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's gotten me hooked back into this show. My only complaint is that now, number one, we still haven't seen Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yep.
Which I said from the beginning was going to happen.
Yeah, we know.
And number 2, now you finally got me. I'm hooked. I'm in. You've given me, especially moments with characters that have been built up for years, where you gave me a big moment that felt like new and like, oh my God, like what's actually going to happen here? And this has been, like I said, the repetitiveness of Star Wars for me with a lot of these shows is everything just kind of feels like Star Wars paint by numbers. But this was one of those moments where I genuinely like stopped and was like, I gotta see this.
Yes.
And now I'm hooked. And now I've got 3 episodes left.
3 episodes left. And what you know is I think there's talk that they're gonna do a season 2 because I'm worried that this just lead into this movie that's 5 years away. But at least we'll get a season 2 before that. But 100%, this thing is ending on a cliffhanger. Like, we are getting no answers. Like, nothing. Like, I just want to know, like, what story are we getting to wrap up? Like, nothing's going to be wrapped up. What are we wrapping up here?
No, I feel like we're 5 hours into, an 8 hour or 7 hour. No, 8 hours. We're into an 8 hour story. We're 5 hours in already. And we're still laying groundwork.
Yeah.
And that's all well and good, but it almost becomes like what we talked about last week with that Kurt Angle documentary, where it becomes a race to the finish and we're just trying to fit shit in just so we can hit the point where we have to end at, which is where I felt like we did with the original prequels, where we have to fit in this big Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones chapter, because it's got to lay all the groundwork for things that happened from episode 1, but only as a bridge to get us where we need to go in episode 3. But by the time we get to episode 3 with all like the shit that we want to see, because we already know what has to happen, it's just a race through it where everything feels kind of not fleshed out in a proper way because we just know where we have to finish.
Yes, I agree. I hate that shit. It's like what happened with Game of Thrones, right? First 7 seasons, we're taking our time, and then that last season, it used to take half a season for someone to travel somewhere, because things are far. But in that last season, bro, in the same episode, people are going from A to B to C to D to this, and it's just like, what? This isn't the show. Like, why are we racing to the finish? This isn't what this show was about. So I always hate that. I feel like it happens a lot of times. You just got to cram everything in.
And I don't want that to ruin the experience for me because, like I said, I thought it was kind of slow. I wasn't disliking it by any means, but I certainly wasn't fully on board. Yeah. And now I am. Yeah. And now that I'm here, I don't want you to throw me overboard. Like, I'm here. Keep me here now.
I think we're good. I think this is Filoni's baby. So I think we're not going to get the rush. I think we're just going to get where it ends, where we have maybe more questions than we have answers. Like, like nothing's going to be resolved. And we're just going to go, oh, so now we got to do this, this, and this on top of this to lead to show, movie, big thing. Well, I'm excited. Like I said, Grand Admiral Thrawn here coming, episode 7. I can't wait. 2 more episodes. I get to see him for 10 seconds, maybe at the end.
So that's your Ahsoka update. I will say, I think now that I feel like they've given us more than I was expecting them to give us kind of overall when we were coming into this series from the beginning. Based on what we had gotten in Boba Fett in the last season of Mandalorian, I really didn't know if they had a real plan for this season of Ahsoka. Seems like they do. So now
Yes.
I
Yeah, I
hope it
was
gets
nervous
executed.
because I did like Mandalorian season, but it wasn't great. But I still enjoyed it. But I enjoyed Andor, but that's something so different. So now that we're like in this wheelhouse, I was like, I wonder how Ahsoka's gonna be. You know, this is a big deal, and then so far, whoo, it's good. Star Wars is back, baby. Give it to me. Love it. Baby.
Gomez, the last thing I got, unless you have anything else.
No, I'm good. That's it, baby.
So we saved this for last. This has kind of been a couple weeks in the making. John Delana reached out, and as you know, this is the same guy who wanted us to watch Telemarketers. And I said I would never take his word again. Said that. And I stand by that. But before Telemarketers, he reached out and said we should watch this special on HBO Max called BS High. And it is about a fake high school football team who collapses on national television on ESPN in such dramatic fashion that it leads to a giant investigation into what this team actually is. And it was a big story at the time, a lot of controversy at the time. And now HBO's given us an hour-and-a-half documentary on this. And according to IMDb, it follows the investigation which occurred when the Bishop Sycamore Centurions, a presumed high school football team from Columbus, Ohio, took on perennial prep powerhouse IMG Academy. So, like I said, this is a fake high school, fake football team, fake everything that conned their way into a robust high school football schedule against some of the better teams in the country, was traveling around to play these teams when their team sucked and was getting blown out in all these games, and then gets a national spot on an ESPN showcase against IMG Academy, which is like the preeminent prep football program in the country, and gets absolutely obliterated, gets serious injuries to multiple people on the team, to the point where like now, like the government has to step in and be like, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Crazy.
Do you remember the story as it was being revealed, Gomez?
Yes, I do. I remember hearing about it. I listen to Dan Le Batard podcast every day, right? So they give me some sports, right? So I like that. I get some sports there. And so I remember them talking about it, and I was like, this is such a fucking crazy story. Like, this is bananas. And then when I heard this, I was like, oh, this is awesome, because I would like to hear more of how the fuck they got away with this shit.
So, yes, right? Like, it's an enticing storyline because you want to hear about this. And they bring in the guy. His name is Roy Johnson. And in his words, he is an honest liar. And they opened the program basically with him asking, like, does he look like a con man? He goes, oh, do I look like a con man? And then he's talking to the cameraman, like, how am I sitting? I read something online about body language and how much it gives away and all this. And like right off the bat, you're like, what is this guy's deal? But the phrase that stuck with me is, do I look like a con man? Because they just basically spend the next hour and a half trying to answer that question. Is Roy Johnson a con man? And it is one of the most infuriating documentaries I think I've ever watched.
I've never hated someone more than I hate this fucking guy. This fucking guy is such a piece of shit, bro. I can't stand him.
The phrase piece of shit should be in the dictionary with his picture next to it. Roy Johnson is pure scum of the earth. What he does is, in an opportunity to enrich himself, he creates this fake school and says he's associated with a church, thereby foregoing having to pay taxes. And he focuses on these kids who played high school football, did not get recruited by universities, and they're predominantly Black and poor and from disadvantaged communities. And he's preying on them. And he's saying, oh, you didn't get this, but come join with me. You come to this school. I'll look out for you. I'll pay attention to you. I'll get you where you need to be, and we'll get you into real college programs from here. And once they do this, once he gets these kids handed to them, signed over to him, he has them living in hotel rooms that aren't being paid for. So they're constantly being kicked out, shuffled from room to room, wherever he can just find a place to stash them for the night. They're not being fed because Roy Johnson has no meal program. So he even says one of the things he does is call like the supermarket, order 20 rotisserie chickens, not pick it up, and then go at the end of the day to buy it when it's on sale for $2 because they need to get rid of it by the end of the day. It's
insane.
Every little thing out of this mouth makes you want to hit this guy.
Choke him out, bro.
He spends the entirety of this deflecting or excusing his own behavior.
No big deal, bro. What did I do? Did I really do something? Come on. Like shit like that. It's just like, what? Oh, bro.
And we get stories where he's forging checks at Kinko's.
Yes.
And he has the team, like he leads a team beatdown of a homeless man. Or he purposely runs over like a flock of geese with his car.
Yes.
And one of the most egregious things is he has these players, these kids. He has them take out PPP loans during the COVID pandemic in order for them to pay tuition to him for a school they're not even going to.
Yes, there's no classes. Some of these kids were supposed to be getting into college. You're going to help me bring my grades up. That's just some real shit. And they're just like, they don't want to say nothing. They don't want to get in trouble, right? They're kids.
Like this is the guy they think that is going to help them. So anything he says, they're trying to do. They're trying to keep Roy Johnson happy here. And now they're going all this money in debt with these fucking bullshit PPP loans. And the money's just going to him. They're just signing over that money to Roy Johnson. And in his mind, it's fine. It's just part of doing business.
These kids. Yeah, I'm in charge of these are my kids. Yeah, they should pay me. It's like, what?
And now, after the ESPN debacle, they get on national TV. They get embarrassed. Multiple players get hurt. And all these kids are just... It's so sad. It is such a sad, and I can't think that anyone, like all the teams that I played on growing up, I may have had a coach I didn't like, or a coach I didn't see eye to eye with, or a coach that I would have done things differently than. I have never, ever had a coach that I felt like tried to take advantage of me in any way. And I'm sitting there going, my God, thank fucking God I never played on a program with a Roy Johnson somewhere, because what a fucking scumbag Roy Johnson is. And the kicker of it is, once the Ohio Department of Education looks into it, they can't even fucking do anything, because the idea that someone would forge an entire school
there's nothing about it.
So preposterous that there's no even remotely close law on the books to even have it regulated. So there's all of these loopholes that this guy's just able to work around, and can still work around today if he chose to, because those laws haven't been put on the books since.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, JoeMeZ, as interesting as this premise is, as interesting as this story is, this becomes very hard to watch.
Yeah,
and by the end of it, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
This is fun. A silly, these kids, how'd they do this? This is so crazy. A fake. It's like, this is going to be a fun. No, it's like, Jesus, this is fun.
At the end of it, by the time this was over, I almost felt like complicit. Like I'm part of the problem, because I gave Roy Johnson exactly what he wanted. Attention.
You gave him attention.
I sat there and I watched this man. And that's all he wants, is to be watched. That's all he wanted, was that fucking attention. And it makes you feel like such a piece of shit for having sit through this. And the fact that it's an interesting story to tell doesn't excuse the fact that they're giving all this time to someone who's such a scumbag, who did this to kids that he took advantage of in the worst ways, in almost the worst ways possible.
Yes.
And it's just, I can't even say I liked it because of how it made me feel on the inside after watching it. It produced such a visceral reaction in me that I was literally disgusted with myself by the end of this documentary.
The definition of a hate watch. I'm just watching this going, oh my, I'm just getting angrier and angrier. It's just like, it's insane. It's just, I could not believe it. 100%. I went in for a fun, good time, and I came out depressed, hating life. Like, this is, how do we let this shit happen? What happened? I love it. And that's his thing, right? Oh, there's no law, right? He has them play a game like on Wednesday and then on Friday. Who says I can't have them play football?
He had them play 2 full games in like a 3-day period.
Who says I can't? If it's so bad, then it should be a law, right? Like a real
exactly
shit. Like, wow. Oh, okay, bro. Yeah, all right. Okay. Oh man, unbelievable. I can't recommend this documentary. I can't.
It's hard. It really is hard to recommend this because now John got at us, and I guess John played football growing up and was a coach for a period of time, and he's coached kids and worked with kids, and he seemed to have the same reaction we did. I'm sure we'll hear more from John during the week. But as like we all played some kind of activity, right? As a kid, where someone's parent was the coach, or someone's, or this coach came from somewhere, whatever.
Yeah.
But we've all had some kind of activity, whether it was a scout leader, a coach, a mentor, a tutor. We've all been somewhere where some other adult was being tasked with helping us improve something somewhere. And my God, by the end of it, I viscerally hated this man.
It's been a while since I hated someone like that. It's been a while. I was just like, man, I haven't been this angry watching something in a long time.
Yeah.
My goodness. Real scumbag. Hope he gets hit by a truck tomorrow, piece of shit.
It's
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck him. I don't give a shit.
Fuck him. Exactly. And the thing is he's not sorry. He's not remorseful.
No, that's what I mean. He deserves every bad thing.
He deserves every possible bad thing to happen to him. And then he's got that other fucking guy who I guess is his buddy or something, who was like kind of defending, and he's like, oh, but you don't know what we did for these kids. What did you do? What did you do besides hurt them? They're not getting into college because of you. They're going in debt because of you. They starved because of you. They were being shuttled like they're in halfway houses from room to room to room because of you. What did you do? And then the one kid finally catches on where he's going to get a scholarship to go to Grambling. And then they find out that he's one of the kids from the Bishop Sycamore thing. And guess what they do? They pull his scholarship.
That's fucked up. So fucked up.
So what did you do for these fucking kids? Tell me one positive fucking thing you did for them. Real pieces of shit.
God damn.
And we're not going to hit the main man. I don't even know like how you would rate this because it's not an enjoyable watch.
No.
It really makes you take a fucking hard look at everything going on and just saying like, how is this possible? Believe me, I understand why there wasn't a law on the books about this.
Yes,
like it's preposterous, right?
Yes. I'm gonna start a fake school.
If someone happens to start up a fake school, which they mask as a church and then a high school football team, and I mean, it's preposterous. But now that it's happened, and in the years that have followed, maybe something does need to be on the books so we don't have to fucking hear from Roy Johnson or anyone like him ever again.
My goodness. So if you want to get angry, if you want to hate someone, if you're in the mood to hate someone, turn this fucking doc on. Because boy, that blood will be boiling.
Like I had to go after I finished watching, and I had to pour myself a drink just to be like, holy shit, because I was fired up. Like I was tight.
I get it.
If I could have reached through my screen, I would have strangled that motherfucker.
I'm like right from the beginning. I'm like this fight, and he just like everything he said, just that pompous, cocky,
Yeah, arrogant, the smirk, like
yeah.
everything.
God damn, jerk off.
So action-packed week again, Gomez. We
Yes,
keep doing it. We keep bringing the heat.
Bringing the heat. They love the fire. We got the fire, folks. Oh, baby. You know what else we got, Joe?
What do we got?
We got our favorite time of year coming up here, Joe.
Oh, really? What time is that?
Oh, it's a little special time that we like to call spooky snake season.
No, it can't be already.
Yes, it is, Joseph.
No.
It's time. It's the season. The spooky snake season. Oh, Joseph, baby, how you doing? It's been so long since we've last chatted in these conditions. How you been, Joe?
I was great. Now I'm not.
Well, it's your favorite time of year. You know, we do it every year. We get a head start on the Halloween season because we love scary movies so much on the JoeMeZ podcast, don't we, Joe?
Sure.
Oh, baby.
It can't really be already.
It is. It was supposed to, technically. So I have to admit, right? So this strike is really fucking me up, bro, because so many things keep changing their release dates, right? So we had talked about starting 6 weeks of horror 1 week late because the Halloween season was gonna end with a new Saw movie, right? Saw X was coming out October 27th. We were fired up about it. I was gonna make Joe see a Saw movie in the theater for the first time. Oh, baby, what a way to end the season, right? Perfect. And then it turns out it got moved up. It got pushed up a month, baby. Saw X comes out next week. Oh, baby. So that's for next week. But so we got to figure out what we're watching this week, right?
Oh, what possibly could we be watching?
No. Well, I had mentioned this, so we're gonna stick with it, right? Because I got some ideas and I got some tricks up my sleeve for the upcoming weeks. But we're gonna start off easy, all right? We're gonna watch this movie this week, then we're gonna watch next week, and then we'll get into the fun stuff once October hits, all right? But so for this week, I mentioned it earlier in a past episode. I saw a movie called COBWEB. Right, it's there's not a lot of horror movies being talked about this year in my realm. I feel there's the bad movies, Skinamarink, and the Outwaters, right? There's that corner, and then there's something like Talk to Me, and this movie COBWEB that people are having some fun with this holiday season. So I said, you know what? Let's have some fun, Joe. Let's watch the most recent popular thing, right? Let's do it. So this week for our movie, we're gonna watch COBWEB. This movie is streaming on VOD. You could pay your $5 to watch it, or you could come on over to the Twitch stream. MEZ Movie, twitch.tv. MEZ Movie, come on by, join us. Be playing all weekend with some fun stuff. It's a good time. Come on. Let's get into that holiday spirit. They're giving us pumpkin shit already. We're going to start getting spooky, baby. Come on.
Great.
Come on, Joe. You're excited. I don't stay. Bro, you love like 80% of. There's always like 2 movies you don't like, and then the other ones you're like, that's not bad. I like that one. Come on, you know it, bro.
COBWEB. Great.
Yes, Lizzie Chaplin is in it. We love her, right? She's great. And she's from Mean Girls, the the dyke. I don't know how else you would. That's like everyone has a role in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has a role in the movie.
I know who she is now. Yeah,
that's what she is in the movie. So that lady, right? She's also in Cloverfield. She's in lots of stuff. Party Down, lots of things. She's great. And then the husband is I think his name's Anthony Starr, right? Homelander. We love it. We love this guy. Yeah, right. So come on, it's gonna be a good time. I think we're gonna have fun with this one.
Probably not.
No, I know you, Joseph. I usually know when you're gonna like and not son. This one is gonna be like in the middle, and then maybe you like it a little more than I think, or maybe you have. But you're not gonna. This is not gonna be a. Oh, why are you making me watch? No, we're starting off good. Come on.
Like, but that's for next week, JoeMeZ. I don't. Yes, but that's next week. So why don't we finish up this week?
Sure, let's spin a wheel, baby.
It's now time for the big finish.
Baby, it's big finish time. Oh, I'm so excited to spin a wheel. Here we go. Oh, look at that Pop-Tart flavors. I hope it lands on that. Oh, man. Here we go. That'd be crazy. Let's see. Will Adam Sandler come up again? Because it's been close. No. Adam Sandler was close. He was about 3 off. Very close. This week, the wheel has landed on Batmans. So I guess we're going to name our favorite Batmans. Here we go. Oh, this is easy, right, Joe? Come on, this is easy. I'll go number 1, Kevin Conroy. That's my Batman. Number 1. He's the best. Love him. When I think of Batman,
I was gonna go
the
like
voice. What?
I was gonna go like, like what was the Batman toy with the grappling hook?
Oh, see, I never had those toys. I always saw those commercials for like Ninja Turtles, for Batman. They were always these crazy ass things, but I don't know. I always liked the originals. I never did the underwater Batman with the scuba suit.
Yeah, see, like that's the kind. Yeah,
yeah, like I never did that.
I never really had Batman figures either. I liked Batman, but I was never like such a fan where I wanted figures or anything. But my number 1 Batman ever is Adam West. I love Adam West.
He's good, bro. He's good. He's I mean, but I just think it depends. Like if that's your Batman, I get it. Because that's a very certain style of Batman. So I get it.
And that's why I haven't liked another Batman since.
Number 2 for me, it's my boy. I say it all the time. It's my hot take. I'm not a hot take machine. But Ben Affleck, baby. Give it to me. Number 2. He's great. The movies ain't great, but what he's doing in them, he's great. Love it.
I'll go Conroy for number 2 for me. I think is pretty simple. Batman the Animated Series was a big deal for me.
I guess number 3 would go Christian Bale. I guess, the other ones are good. I do love Keaton. Pattinson was good, but he's only done it once, so he's got to do it one more time before we throw him up there, right? But yeah, we'll go Christian Bale number 3.
Number 3 for me. No, I didn't really love the Batman 89 movie as a kid. I watched it. To me, it was, I don't know if it was just over my head or it wasn't the Batman I was kind of expecting.
It's so different from the Batman. Yes, it's so different from your Batman.
So I'm going to go number 3, which I think is highly underrated. I'm going to go George Clooney.
Again, I think he's good. His movie is not great, but I think he's not bad, and he's doing what he's got to do.
He has a back credit card. Never leaves a cave without it.
But why wouldn't he? He's a billionaire. Sometimes you got to pay for things, right? He breaks things. Here you go. Pay for that wall I just broke, bro. My bad. Yeah, swipe that back credit card. Makes sense to me.
So I think that's a good list. West, Conroy, Clooney.
That's a great list. Love it. Great list. Conrad, Kevin Conroy. What, boy? Oh, Kevin Conroy, Ben Affleck, and then Christian Bale. It's a good list. It's a good list. Can't go wrong. It's not a lot of bad Batmans, right? I feel they all do a good job. He's like, no,
Yeah.
there's some bad ones. There's some bad ones.
And I don't mean Affleck either. I like Affleck.
He's good. Some of the animated, like every once in a while, they don't have, and it's just like, who's this Batman? Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. Leave us a 5-star review wherever it is that you're finding this podcast. Follow all my personal stuff at The Joe Shoes, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. We're all having so much fun on Threads. You can follow my YouTube, youtube.com/Joe Shoes. And of course, support by getting a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/Joe Shoes.
The Gomez 154, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. And don't forget, folks, twitch.tv/Mez Movie for 6 weeks of horror this week. We're watching Cobweb. It's a new movie. It's a hit movie. People are loving it. It's the hot shit this summer. Let's see what all the fuss is about, folks. Come on in.
But that's for next week, Gomez. So for now, it's best that we make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.